On. So Dave's asked me to come and talk about tracking learner progress today. Before I start, I'm not coming in today to tell everybody how to. Oh, music's off now, vibes gone. I'm not coming in here to tell everyone how they should do things. I'm well aware that I work in sport. A lot of my practice is in sports coaching. So we go to a local primary school Monday and Thursday and coach, and I'm going to show you a lot of the feedback that I do on that and how we track progress with that. But that's very in industry and very on task, and it's going to be very different for each division. So firstly, I thought I'd just ask you, what does triangulation mean? Because we hear this word triangulation all the time, and really people are probably going to sit there and go, what's it even mean? But ultimately, what triangulation is making sure that everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet. And that once I got my head around that, I realised that that's how we can support feedback and support learners a little bit better. Because ultimately, management have a vision that comes down to us as lecturers, and then lecturers project that vision onto the students, and the students are aware of what they're doing and why they're doing it. Then that is what triangulation is, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for everybody to know why and what they're doing. So rather than me just wittering on, which I do sometimes do, I just want a few examples really of how people feed back to the students, how they feed back to the learners. I know it's Friday morning, but please don't leave me hanging. Has anyone got any examples of how they... So annotate on written work, yeah. So that's quite a common one.
We have a lot of professional discussions where the students get to ask their questions.
Yeah.
Get to do the professional discussions as well.
Yeah, so professional discussions, and a lot of that is looking at what you would do in industry as well, especially for the vocational courses. So I've looked at kind of like formative and summative. So a lot of people, when they talk about feedback, you think how they get into that, how we're feeding back on that end goal, how we're feeding back on that they've achieved, they've passed. But sometimes we have to look at that formative side as well and look at how are we making sure that they know their progress as we're going along. So I'm going to give you a little example. Can't click it. Luckily, I've got a really high-tech thing here that turns into a mouse. So if I just click on my year one unit, so like I said to you, we go to, who have I got? Here we go. We go to a school every week and we teach a year 4 class for the first hour and a year 1 class for the second hour. And then each group work together, and I do this with them every week. I'm not playing this for long because I hate hearing my voice on voice recordings, just like probably the rest of you do.
Okay, so what is the phone? So in four, just trying to layer in those movements a little bit, but show them exactly what each four can. Get them running. I put relatively start.
Well, like I say, I'm not playing that for long because no one wants to hear their own voice on recording. But ultimately, what we do is when we go in, they go on. It starts off me kind of delivering the coaching session and them supporting, and then leads on to them actually leading the session. So I can take a step back. I have one of the lined English books that we have. I have one of those, and I walk around the pitch and I literally just make notes. And then while the next group's setting up, I say, come in, put my phone on the piece of paper, do my voice recording, upload it to Drive, delete the recording, text me. They're usually 2 to 3 minute feedback, and then it takes me 2-3 minutes to upload it. And then it's all the students have access to this. So then from there, they're constantly getting feedback on their own progress. So then they know what they're doing and how they're doing, which then feeds into this, which looks really complicated, but it's actually not. So we noticed in sport that we actually probably lacked a little bit at times in the tracking of progress. So we've probably spent the last 18 months or so really trying to develop how we do that, because, and I think the issue was because we have so much practical, because we have so much, so many different ways of doing things in the industry. We have to do written, verbal, professional discussions like we talked about. They have to do practical assessments. It's very, very different and difficult to keep the students on track with what they're knowing where they're at. So what we devised was this. So we looked at knowledge, skills and behaviours, and we started trying to review every 3 weeks. And it's only a simple red, orange and green. And that comes off the back of, for this one, because we didn't start it until after Christmas, for this one, it came off the back of the coaching sessions for my unit. So then I would ask all the students, and this is still a work in progress, so this isn't perfect. I would go around and I'd say, right, I need you to give me an action plan for development. This is what I've given you, knowledge, skills and behaviours, based off what I've seen, because of this, this and this. All right, so it might be, so for example, one student here has decided that they want to lead leadership of other coaches. So in our conversations, I've said, look, you're doing well, but you're doing a bit of everything. You need to start saying to other people, right, if you work on this bit, you work on this bit, that's a lot more industry experience, and it's a lot more what we're looking for leading into the second year, because that learner is quite a high level learner as well. So then as you're going through, you can kind of see that people are starting to just really take different strands, and then they kind of by this one got used to it. Now, the only thing with that is that I've noticed, I've reflected on it, is that it's trying to make them smart targets. Now, if anyone's asked a student to make a smart target, it's like asking them to run around the world in 3 minutes, because they just don't get how to do it. They just write S-M-A-R-T and then write something different for each one. So that's where my next bit, I'm going to try and get more into them creating smart targets, because it does benefit them when it comes to developing a coaching session anyway. Then that is pretty much the end of my slides, I think. Yeah, that's the end of my slides. So what I thought I'd do is just kind of get everyone stood up in a minute, and then I'm just going to number you all up. Everyone's looking at me like, for God's sake, I only came in for a Friday brew and a croissant. But I'm going to number you all up and just put you in little groups and let everyone just have a little chat about what they do in their division, just so we can kind of share best practice, because ultimately it's different for everyone. So if everyone stands up for me, we'll do it all at the front, because Dave's just given me the 1 minute mark. So it means everyone just come down, because you're going to be finished in a minute anyway. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, Kieran. 4, Dave. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shelley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Chris. 1. Has anyone not got a number? No? Alright, so there's 10 numbers, so there should be 10 groups of about 3. So if you just find number 1s go towards that way, 2's there, 3's, 4's, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And just have 30 seconds talking about what you do to track.
I had somebody reverse the traffic.
Yeah. I'll tell them all now. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much for that. If you've got lessons to go and teach or places to be, feel free. You can leave now. If you want to stay and still chat, feel free to stay.
Superstar, thank you.